I think it was aerial powers. It was just a one-on-one battle, and we didn't. We just allowed her to go downhill without offering the help that we needed to, and it was just one player just getting that will, and she kind of kick-started it for her. Matchup wasn't right. We had just multiple people on her, but we didn't help. We're supposed to be trapping when she gets to the paint, but we didn't do that as well as we should have. And she made some plays, got the momentum back. So, we got to be better.
Yeah, Sabrina, that's safe to say the niggles are completely gone at this point.
Definitely. She's been good these last 3 games, obviously. And but we can't have 2 players score 51 points in 77. We can't go 4 from 30. We need other players stepping up. They need to start making shots, because so much in the first quarter, like we hold them pretty good, and then it's 1 from 10 for us. We just make a few shots. It changes the game, to be quite honest, but this is a recurring thing, and we got great shooters. We've got to stay confident and hopefully make some shots.
To that end, how impressed have you been with the way Sabrina has stepped up, not only as a scorer, but as a leader during this rather difficult time?
Yeah, she's been great, to be quite honest, and like she's back and she knows, this is her team, and she's leading it and in all aspects. She's got a big heart. She wants to win, really that competitive fire, and she need others just to pull up with her, basically. It's a pretty impressive game with what she did, and 7 assists as well. I thought she passed the ball well, and it's good. It's good to see her healthy, and it's good confidence for her to know that she can compete with the best.
Final one from me. How impressed were you with the play of Kayla when you waited tonight? Not just tonight, but this past season, but you particularly came up big tonight in the interior.
Yeah, no, look, I've been I think this was her best game. I think just getting comfortable. I kept her at the perimeter spot. There's things she could have done better in the previous games that she didn't execute, but I thought tonight, for the most part, she executed quite well, and we need that athleticism and that aggressiveness. But they were way more physical and had more sense of urgency tonight, and we've got to make sure that we learn from it and come ready to play on Tuesday.
Appreciate your comments.
Hi, Sandy. Miles Grossman, WHB Sports. In that second quarter, there was a stretch of consistent fouls. It sent Allen and Dolson to the bench. How much did foul trouble affect that initial deficit?
Yeah, it hurt us. I thought Hahn wasn't really into the game in the first half either, so that kind of hurt us. And that's going to happen at times with young players, but the players coming off the bench weren't, 2 key players. We need to know that we can go to the bench and trust that we won't lose that energy. And it's just tough. And then obviously it was the aerial powers show, and we've got to do a better job, and got to make that sure that we're locked in for the 40 minutes.
Thank you. 2 questions. How disappointing is this in the sense that we play well, they're struggling, need to get on a little bit of a rock here? That'll be the first question.
Yeah, no, disappointing, definitely, because they wanted it more. I know we all have crazy schedules. We played 1 extra game than them, and they just they wanted it a little bit more, and were able to execute and make shots. 7 from 13 from threes. I mean, that just hurt us. Sometimes, like out of the traps, we didn't rotate out. We left open shots, and they made them. We got open shots. We just missed them, and it's a recurring thing. We got great shooters. We got to start making shots, and maybe the result is way different here. But as Cheryl said, she thinks like they needed it more. It's like we all need it here. We're in a fight here to get some consistency. Powers has been coming off the bench the last few games. I don't know why, but certainly showed her value tonight.
The other thing is, how did you get back in the game? You're down 19 and then you're down 1.
Yeah, we went to zone. We played our zone, and it took them out of rhythm a little bit, and we were able to make some shots. And that's what it's about. Can you get stops, and can you score down the other end? And we got on a bit of a roll there. We ran out of steam, to be quite honest, and players be able to make some shots at the end of the game.
The Staley, 3rd straight game where it's for something low, only 11 this afternoon. Would you just attribute that to inserting Crystal into the starting 5, or do you think it's just a greater team approach as far as being more careful with approaching the ball?
Yeah, I think just building chemistry. I think that takes time, understanding how everyone plays, and not knowing that you don't need to make a touchdown pass. I'm all about ball player movement and getting quick to the next action. Just improved decision making, but I think Crystal helps that, allows people to move off the ball a little bit. So that's a good sign. We didn't foul as much, we fouled a little bit too much, but for the most part, compared to the last game, they're things that are better than us. But, for now, it's just a little bit of deep execution in our schemes in the first half in particular and making shots.
And we're seeing the Lynx again on Tuesday night. What's the sort of biggest sort of key you're focusing on the team as far as preparing for that matchup?
Yeah, taking care of Powers. I think that's obviously a big thing. What we want to do is just really recovery, rest, and coming out and with a little sense of urgency and making sure, it's our home court. We've got to bring that sense of urgency and for 40 minutes and not let anyone, play tougher than us here.
Oh, sorry. Just catching my breath from the run. So I'm curious about what this game taught you when it comes to the opposing coach really exposing the weaknesses of this roster right now. With all of the injuries, it's tough for Ariel Powers to be contained because you don't have those perimeter defenders who could stop.
No, we don't. And that's why we're supposed to be bringing a trap. Unfortunately, we don't have dynamic player on the perimeter that can just lock someone down. And Beck Allen is our best one. She had 3 fouls. Does that kind of hurt us? Michaela did her best, but we've got to crowd it a little bit more, have that sense of urgency. It's not about one person locking someone down. It's about a team. And we didn't do that team concepts, which we wanted to. So something we can learn from.
And also, I'm curious by what you saw from Han half to half. The first half, she comes on, she seems a little hesitant. But then the second half, she was a huge part in that comeback.
Yeah. Look, first half, I think this is just a rookie. A little bit of fatigue, mental fatigue, was kind of out of it, to be quite honest. Steph struggled a little bit today too. So, but Hani got going. So she was a reason. She was on there. We could, with her size, allows us to rebound. It's only one offensive rebound. No offensive rebounds there. We can rebound and flow into our early O. We're in a zone and she got going, started making some shots. But now she's a young player. We're going to have to take that now and then. She's 22, trying to play game after game and, against new opponents and a player, Sylvia Fowle, obviously, who's her role model. So.
But she had no fear. On the pass from Natasha Howard, she just sort of.
Yeah, no, she has no fear. I just think it's more fatigue. It's a lot of games coming up. A lot of games, some older ones know it, and now Hani's just in it and has to keep fighting through it, and that's a area where she can continue to grow. So I'm happy that she was able to respond and come out better in the second half.
Hey, Coach. I was just talking to Michaela, who's brought up that zone that you switched to in the fourth quarter. Typically in zone, rebounding is a lot more difficult. How were they able to not just string together so many stops, but also rebound the ball and get out and run the other way?
I think having Hani helped, a little bit of size. So she stays at the point of the basket, and I think that size certainly helped us. And we got some steals. We just took them out of rhythm a little bit. So it was a good change up. We could have been blown out to 30, to be quite honest. But that's one aspect. We did fight, and that was a good change up for us. And we got to keep building it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
She's gonna need me.
Right at 18 points.
What do you take out of a game like this, where you have, such a great comeback, and yet you don't win and need to start putting some wins together?
Yeah, we just got to keep building, figuring out what we need to do better. We can't have a team come in our home court and punch first. We have to come in, locked in on both ends of the floor. So we'll obviously go back and figure out what we need to do, but we see them here pretty soon. So they're going to have to be quick adjustments.
One question for Sabrina, one for Natasha. So just for Sabrina, talk about the adjustments this team has made coming back and winning to the last 3 games.
Yeah, we're still getting to know each other, and I think that's something that we didn't really get a lot of during training camp, and so we're just starting to build and get better chemistry as a team. And I think having Crystal come in and kind of be in that one spot, getting us into our offense has really helped, and being able to rely on our defense too. Tonight we didn't play the great defense through the 40 minutes, but we showed spurts of really, really good defense, and so we need to be able to do that for 40 minutes, and our offense will flow from that.
All right, thank you. And then Natasha, can you just talk about Zoe Fowles and the impact she's had on this league in her last season?
She had a huge impact in the WNBA since she stepped the foot in the WNBA, and also just playing with her when I played in Minnesota, how she put me underneath her wings and just guide me into becoming the next great post player in the WNBA as well. And I really appreciate everything that she's done in the league.
All right, thank you both.
Thank you.
Hey, Sabrina, I'm curious what this game taught you guys about how teams might exploit the holes on the roster with all the injuries.
I'm a little confused.
I can explain. So, aerial powers goes off. You all don't have Jocelyn Wilby, you don't have Dee Richards. That was a place to exploit because those are some good perimeter defenders. I'm curious, what have you learned in a game like this where the other team clearly exploits those holes?
Yeah, I'm not really sure if that's really what they were doing. I think, Beck and Mick, who come in, are really, really good defenders for us. And so I think for us, it's just being able to adapt when someone has the hot hand. And, this game, kind of across the board, they all played really well. They made really big shots. And so we just have to come together as a team, rely on our team defense a little bit more, and be able to stop, the hot hand. But props to them, they shot the ball really well. Powers played really well. And so we're going to have to come back and make those adjustments as a team.
Natasha, for you, I'm curious what you thought the biggest role was in the fact that you all couldn't complete the comeback. I think it was a 3-point deficit. You were so close there.
Our shots just wasn't falling the way Minnesota shots was falling. That's going to happen some games. But overall, like Sab said, we're going to keep building and just keep growing as a team.
Hello, thank you both for being here. This question's kind of for both of you a little bit. You guys seem to really take up the score sheet in the first half. A lot of good chemistry, a lot of good passes on the inside. But Minnesota appeared to shut those wings down in the third quarter. What was the difference you guys made in the fourth to create an offensive explosion and narrow the deficit to as low as 3?
I think just getting stops on the defensive end allowed us to push the ball in transition before the defense was set. In those first few quarters, we weren't getting stopped, and they were able to get their defense set, get into position. And, in that last quarter, we were able to actually get stops, push the ball in transition off of misses, and kind of get them, attacking down. We got a lot of good looks attacking downhill, Tosh cutting and being able to, hit her down low and being able to, she's able to do what she does. So we're going to learn from that. Obviously, shooters are going to make shots. There's sometimes, the ball is just not going to go in. And I mean, I shot 3 for 11 from 3, and that's not even, really acceptable either. So we're going to go back. We're going to get better. It's kind of just all part of the process.
Appreciate that. Thank you. And, this was a bit of a stabilizing week for this team. This was a stabilizing week for this team in the sense that you win 2 games and then you put up a real strong effort in the fourth quarter against the solid Minnesota team. So when players, or when the roster isn't just constantly changing, but people aren't going on the injury report, how easy is it to develop that chemistry? And what has been the most obvious sign of it out there from a player's perspective?
Got it. You want it?
I get it. Every single day we're gonna keep growing. Doesn't matter who's out, the next person got to step up. Every game, everybody have to step up and just be ready at any time, at any point. And we just gonna keep building. Like, we're a young team, we're gonna keep building, keep learning. The season not over yet. We got plenty of more games. We see Minnesota on Tuesday, and we're gonna go back and watch film and see what we could do different and just fix the things that is controllable.
Appreciate the comments.
Hi, Josh. I wanted to ask you, and I know I've talked to you about this before, but about your chemistry with Han, especially in that fourth quarter. There were a couple of times where you were even on one in the low post and saw her cutting on the other side. What have you been able to build on already this season? And I know you played together before that, but in just getting more comfortable on the court.
Just knowing what Han love to do. Han have a nice soft touch around the rim, and I knew she was gonna come out and contest my shot. And I seen Han cut it, and I just passed it to Han. It was the easy shot, the best shot. So and just reading off of what she does on the floor, and she's reading off of me.
Thanks. And Sabrina, today was there was a game. It was a good game for Michaela off the bench, and from the first quarter, she came in and she was boxing out. She wasn't even trying to search for those rebounds. But you talked a lot about how the guards have to come down and help crash. What did you see from her coming off the bench and then hitting a big three also in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, she's continuing to play to her strengths and figuring out her role on this team. Her role is huge coming off the bench, giving us a spark, being able to defend and also being a threat on offense. And so we're going to keep putting her in positions to do what she does. And it's really fun seeing her grow. There, the sky's the limit for her, and I think we all know that. And we're going to keep pushing her and holding her to a really high standard because we need that, and she needs that as well.
As you guys got on you guys stayed in it, stayed fighting. What was the sort of biggest key in the huddle as far as like staying motivated and staying engaged, just like fight that and get back into the game?
Yeah, I mean, we've been in situations like this before. And so I think it just comes down to believing, and you really just need to see the ball go in a couple times and get a couple stops, and the momentum shifts. And so that's what happened, in the fourth. And it was just too late, sometimes, that kind of clicks a little bit too late. And, we missed some shots that could have completely changed that game, particularly in the fourth. But they're shots that we usually won't miss, and they're shots that we're going to keep taking. We don't usually shoot 13% from three. And so it's something that, we're going to have to keep getting shooters open looks. We're going to have to keep, believing in ourselves and shooting those shots, because those shots have gotten us to where we are.
And this is with Minnesota coming right back on Tuesday night. What's the sort of biggest positive you can take from this afternoon's game and bring it to Tuesday and build upon that as well?
Just keep bringing the fight. That's all. Just keep bringing the fight.
That's it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right, thank you both for joining. We'll send a copy of the recording and post game note shortly.